I'll be talking about serpentine leaf miner biology, life cycle, damage and impact. And as Zarmeen has also highlighted, I'd also like to highlight to the audience, a lot of the topics will be presented from our project team, Aaliyah, Rowan and Peter. And they're directly related to some of the work that's literally just been finished through the Horn Innovation funded project for control eradication and preparedness for vegetable leaf miner. During the project, we actually received funding to undertake R&D activities for serpentine leaf miner, and some of these activities included exploring biological and chemical control options for SLM, which I'll continue to call it, updating contingency plans, modelling the potential spread and establishment risk, and extending information to industry. So exotic Liriomyza flies from the Agromyzidae family are major pests of agriculture in many parts of the world. They're included on the Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment's top 40 pest list, and they pose a significant threat to Australia's horticulture industries, as Zarmeen has alluded to. American serpentine leaf miner, American serpentine leaf miner isn't present in Australia, but it's in neighbouring countries, including Indonesia. Vegetable leaf miner was found in the Torres Strait Islands in 2008 and was first detected on mainland Australia in 2015 in Satiae, which is at the tip of Queensland. It's currently under quarantine in the region and hasn't spread to horticultural production regions. Serpentine leaf miner, however, has recently been detected in Australia, as Zarmeen has mentioned already, and isn't technically feasible to eradicate. So it's also worth pointing out that exotic leaf miners are morphologically very similar, meaning they're too similar to identify by sight. So molecular diagnosis is essential to ensure correct identification is made in the field. Exotic leaf miners all have very similar life cycles. So for serpentine leaf miner, it's an egg, larva, pupa and adult phase. It's a very short life cycle, which can occur in as little as 2 weeks, and it can have many generations within one growing season. So this is especially true if the environment or the environmental conditions are favourable. And development time can also vary depending on the host as well. So the eggs are laid by the female adult flies just beneath the surface of the leaf, and many eggs can be laid on the one leaf. The eggs hatch 2 to 5 days later and become larvae. And what you can see in this little GIF here is the larva, and it's the most disruptive stage because it tunnels between the top and bottom layer of the leaf, causing characteristic leaf mining damage. There are 3 larval stages that occur within the leaf, and once the 3rd larval instar stage has developed, it will exit the leaf and pupate typically in the soil. Then after about 1 to 2 weeks, the adults emerge from the pupae, and then the life cycle begins again. So as I mentioned, the larval stage is typically the most destructive stage when it comes to serpentine leaf miner. As the serpentine leaf miner larva mines through the leaf, it creates this signature leaf mining damage, which is quite difficult to distinguish between different leaf miners as to the damage created. So again, molecular diagnostics are crucial. There's also additional damage known as stippling damage, and this is these little circular dots here you can see in this image and in this image. And that's caused by the adult fly poking holes in the leaf to feed and to lay eggs. So serpentine leaf miner is a prolificous pest, which Zarmeen has already kind of talked about already, but it has been recorded on over 200 plant species from 15 families. And some of these include allium, solanaceous, cucurbits, and the list goes on there. And there'll be more detail on the host preferences in the contingency plan, which will be released publicly quite soon after the project is finished. And in terms of the expected range of serpentine leaf miner in Australia, we need to understand a little bit about the biology of the pest. So I've talked a little bit about the life cycle, but serpentine leaf miner is a particularly cold tolerant species, and it can survive below 0 as a pupa. It's actually been recorded overseas in as low temperatures as negative 11.5 degrees. However, the life cycle can only be completed if the temperature is between 5 and 30 degrees. and it's typically known to be killed over 30-degree heat. So CESA has developed a life cycle estimation tool which allows life cycle stage durations to be calculated across regions and seasons for serpentine leaf miner, as well as vegetable and American serpentine leaf miner. And throughout the project, CESA also created a model of the potential geographic distribution of serpentine leaf miner in Australia. And so this model predicts the suitability of climate for SLM and collates the production values for at-risk crops, then also predicts the risk of leaf miner spreading through production regions and estimating the economic costs associated with the spread and establishment potential of serpentine leaf miner. And so the figure here shows the yearly predicted establishment potential for serpentine leaf miner in Australia, where 12 indicates 12 months of the year, shown in purple. So more information on that is detailed in the contingency plan too. And then some of the impacts for serpentine leaf miner. So the main impact is disruption to photosynthetic activity, leading to stunted plant growth and fruit failure, but also the stippling can cause infections. And then at the business level, detections of exotic leaf miners can lead to farm quarantine and yield reduction and loss of marketability, even in those healthy plants, because when you sell them with the leaves, you might reduce that marketability there. I'm just running out of time, so I'll just move on to my acknowledgements, and I'd really like to point out some key groups as part of the project, particularly our steering committee, project partners and research partners. So we'll move on to Aaliyah's talk now, discussing the importance of parasitoid wasps and surveillance, but please feel free to send through any questions in the Q&A section. Thank you.